Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. Let's go ahead and take a look at the JASMY price chart. I think we are somehow in a positive market today. In the last 24 hours, we can see some things up as high as double digits, like Coin, for example. When it comes to JASMY, it seems we are up as high as 7% within the last 24 hours. Now, the last time I made a video on JASMY, I was very much bearish because things were not looking great at that time. But today I'm coming back with something that is a little bit much more optimistic, in the sense that if we now take a look at the JASMY price, that it has managed to get back to a massive support level, although this has been very much tough for a lot of us. So we will be talking about an idea in which we can see the price rise from this support level rather than breaking towards the downside. And without me further running my mouth too much, let me get right into it and show you what I've been figuring out here on the chart. So we'll start with the very basic thing here, the relative strength index. And we can see that over the last, 3 years, maybe 2, I should be saying, like ever since, we bottomed out right around October 2023, we saw that JASMY, when it comes to the RSI, it gets supported right around the 30 mark, and it has actually managed to provide bounces time and again. So we have the RSI in an area which in the last 2 years has actually provided support. So on a balance of scales, it is much more likely that the JASMY price that bounces in terms of its RSI, and that of course usually translates to the price rising a little bit much more right there. So that's what we have on the RSI, very much basic stuff, but sometimes they come in very much handy as well. Another thing that I've been looking at is exactly how the bottom was formed back then in 2023. I was making a post about it, I think yesterday, saying that, look, I'm beginning to welcome the idea that bears will be actually in for a surprise here for JASMY, that the 2023 bottom was formed exactly in the same manner that JASMY has done in the last few months. So, we're approaching key support levels, and with that, we're also seeing that the sentiment is very much bearish. Everybody is very much negative here on the JASMY price set, and usually reversals happen when sentiment has shifted towards one side. So that's what we are seeing. If you look at the comments, everybody is like, JASMY is trash and it is a scam, whatever the case may be, despite JASMY just moving along with the rest of the market. So I'm not here to defend JASMY in any way, shape or form, but I'm just saying that, look, the kind of bottoming structure that we had back then in 2022, 2023 is similar to what JASMY is doing. If that is not visible yet, I think we can go ahead and copy this fractal very much quickly, and we'll come here and paste it to what current price action is looking like. Adjust it just a little bit here, as you can see that, okay, we are pretty much repeating almost the same thing. So now that we are on a support level, it's also likely that the JASMY price pushes up a little bit. Now, the question is like, how high can it actually go? I don't think it's wise to look at this fractal and just say, okay, look, we're going to be looking at like 6 cents one more time. But I think something that is a little bit much more of a guarantee, although it is not 100% a guarantee, is that at least we go ahead and try to test the upper liquidity, which I would say somewhere around 2.1 cents thereabout. So I think this is a very important level of interest. I mean, if you also look back here on the chart, you can see that there has been a lot of traffic right around that level. So it appears JASMY has formed a double top here, a M pattern, which is something that is considered bearish, and all the traders, I think, they'll be looking to short the JASMY price out here. But I think market makers may just have something and go ahead and push the price up a little bit so that they liquidate everybody who is shorting the price. Because let's just be honest, the price chart here for JASMY has just been towards the downside relentlessly, and people are actually aware of that. So the most likely thing that they will do here is to place bets that the JASMY price that is going to continue going towards the downside. But there is something that has actually happened also over the last 48 hours or so. And I was looking at ICP, Internet Computer Protocol. I talk about it time and again on this channel. And what we were seeing with ICP is that it was down and it looked very much desperate. But all of a sudden, we actually saw it pumping like 25% in one day. The next day, it was 48%. And at the end of it, it was up like 100% or something like that, just in a space of 48 hours. Now, one thing that, this has with the JASMY price that is the funding rates. We can see that the funding rates for ICP ever since the crash on the 10th of October had been negative. You can see here they have been red. What this means is that almost nobody was longing ICP. All the bets had actually been placed against the ICP price. But of course, market makers proved everybody wrong and they pushed the price up a little bit. I think we're going to be experiencing the same thing here for JASMY, because we can also see the same phenomenon that ever since the 10th of October, JASMY funding rates have just been negative here. Even if we also take a look at the open interest, we can also see that it's lately at the floors, right? Not exactly there, but I think in my opinion, a reversal is coming and is very much closer than we anticipate, just like what ICP Internet Computer Protocol was doing, wrong footing pretty much everybody right there. Now, before I talk about this positive metric here for JASMY, I just want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video by delicately tapping the like button. It will of course tell the YouTube algorithm that yes, this may be short, but the video is still very much relevant and it gets shown to as many people as possible. If you're also new to the channel, please subscribe because I do TA on JASMY and a number of other different altcoins on a regular basis. And let's get back to business. We're also seeing that the liquidation heat map here for JASMY points out to the fact that liquidity here for JASMY is not towards the downside. Rather, it is looking towards, something like 1.1 cents thereabout. So this is where most traders would be liquidated with the current best that they have. So I hope this actually stands to be true. Of course, we know things with technical analysis that all the indicators in the world would line up to tell you that, look, this price is likely to push towards the upside, then the exact opposite happens. But in my decision making, I'm looking at all these factors here. I'm looking at the RSI over the last 2 years bottoming around this 30 mark, and then I'm also taking a look at a potential support level that we are seeing there. We're also looking at those funding rates very much negative ever since the 11th or the 10th of October. I think just maybe the most likely thing here for JASMY is to go ahead and push up a little bit, maybe 1.2 cents, 2.1 cents thereabout. We'll see how high the whole thing eventually plays out. Then I'm also looking at how this structure that we have today was also very much similar to something that we had back when we're bottoming out there. So there is a strong argument here for JASMY to go ahead and push towards the upside. However, this may actually not happen immediately. It may take a little bit of time because, as you can see, that this is a support range, not one specific number or anything like that. So you could go as low as, I would say here, maybe something like a 0.0069 or 7. That will be like a minus 25% from where the price is. That has got enough juice to scare everybody one more time, but we'll see what eventually happens. My mode has actually changed here when it comes to JASMY. I'm actually much more in a bullish stance at this point until something different totally shows up here on the chart. But for now, I'm looking at all those indicators and factors, and they actually point to a much more optimistic picture here for JASMY. So we'll see what eventually happens. Again, nothing is a guarantee, but we do the best that we can do to read the data as it is coming. Now, before I go, I want to show you this event that we are running with MEXC, the exchange. If you are part of the first 20 people to go ahead and join and register with the link that I'll put in the description, and deposit at least $100, trade about $500, then you will get your $50 in a welcome bonus. Then of course there is also some $2,300 to be won. This also just depends on how much you are trading, but there is that $2,300 to be won. So go ahead and check the link that is in the description and see if it actually is good for you. Then with that being said, I want to thank you so much for watching the video. If you could, please delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.